David, at first glance then, the numbers look disappointing. Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, there's definitely, the numbers there that can be seen as disappointing. It's a bit of a mixed bag. It's kind of a story of a continued downturn in demand when it comes to the semiconductor industry. And I think investors in ASML will have known that they'd have to stomach some volatility this year as the chip industry grapples with, the lingering impact of inflation and that kind of thing. So yeah, there's obviously numbers here which do look disappointing. There's also other aspects that could be taken positively. Their outlook for the full year is unchanged, and the company has also said that they expect a stronger second half.
What is the China? Where's the China story in this, David? And are there other obvious reasons for the softness?
Well, I think for ASML, one of its challenges has been demand delay. It's always said that this year would maybe not be so spectacular when it comes to the numbers because it's this is the company it's the only company that makes these machines which can build the most advanced semiconductor chips for AI processors, and so it has to wait really for more fabrication plants to be made around the world. So it's always pointed to next year as being a year in which investors should really be ready for. With China, the restrictions these fully kicked in on January 1st. Those restrict ASML from selling less advanced machines. So when it comes to the EUV machines, which are what many investors will be looking at today, it's not able to sell those anyway. So it did say earlier that it expected China sales to fall something like 15% this year based on the early restrictions.
Okay, so we continue to look ahead to 2025 as being potentially a really strong year for ASML, as you say, a year that they flagged. When it comes to those EUVs then, the extreme ultraviolet machines that they ship out sometimes in 3 Boeing aircraft, given the size of them, a decent demand, it seems, for those very high-end pieces of kit. Does that look like it's going to be sustained? Where is that demand coming from?
Well, this is the thing. I mean, looking through the numbers, EUV orders in the previous quarter were something like 5.6 billion, and this quarter they actually fell quite considerably. So I think again, it's there's a number of factors in terms of what ASML is facing. Obviously, artificial intelligence is going to be driving demand. It's going to be a major driver of its business and the business of its customers over the next few years. It's just dealing with a fairly sort of lumpy timing in terms of orders at the moment. And again, there will be high demand for this. This is pretty much the only game in town when it comes to these machines. So, they always said expect a fairly sort of fluctuating few months in 2024 before things really start to accelerate in 2025.